Welcome back to this week's episode of the Cat's Corner. I'm Casey Campbell, and we are pleased to be joined each and every week by Dane Baruzini, the head hockey coach at Novi. How's it going?
Oh, well, Casey, how are you today?
Doing well. So, before we get a chance to get through this, we have to thank today's sponsor, Engrave It All USA. Of course, Michelle and her team can engrave just about anything in all different types of shapes and sizes. You can bring the items you already have, or they can make something completely from scratch. Remember, if you can dream it, they can laze it. Products include tumblers, sweatshirts, and T-shirts, hats, beanies, and much, much more. Most orders complete in just 3 days. Don't forget to log on to engraveitallusa.com. And thank you to Engrave It All USA for sponsoring this week's episode of the Cat's Corner. And by the way, got a little bit of Tumbler there. So how about that? You got a tumbler with the Novi. You're kind of like your welcome to Novi present.
Yeah, no, it was really nice. Michelle and her team, met with them on Friday at the Novi rink, dropped off a really nice Novi green tumbler. It's got, Novi hockey on it. It's got Coach Barzini in the back. I absolutely love it. Have it in the locker room right now to replace, another tumbler I don't normally use over there. So I'll make sure next week we actually have it to show off and to show the high quality work that they do over there.
And of course, the link is below in the description. So, wrapped up the regular season on Wednesday, of course, taking on South Lyon Unified, got the win there. But you guys have been on. But talk about the momentum that you guys have been on, especially these last few games.
Yeah, just kept finding ways to win. Riding a 4-game winning streak. This week was nice. Had senior night on Monday against Wald Lake Western Pinckney Unified. Came out of that one with a 6-2 win. Seniors scored 5 of our goals. Gabe Armstrong with a hat trick. Braylon Juzak with 2. He actually scored 2 in his first shift. So really got the ball rolling, some good momentum there. Overcame some penalty issues in the second period. Killed off 5 penalty kills in the second period, and then took that win in. And then played a really tough South Lyon, Unified team on Wednesday, shorthanded. We had 13 skaters in lineup, and found a way to get, find that win. Back and forth game. You're down 1-0. Went 1-1 after the first. Went up 2-1, tied. Went up 3-2, tied. Minute 40 left. Had a really nice effort from senior captain Gabe Armstrong putting in the game winner, and we're just able to kind of shut them down and stop that momentum. But Coach Gags and that South Lyon team has been playing really well. They're number 10 in D2, number 1 in their bracket, over in Division 2 in their regional. So we were happy to come out with a win there. That was a really good playoff test for us going into this week, as we prepare for, the big game against our rival Northville.
Yeah, of course. I always see Coach Gagnon all the time when I'm at Brighton. Of course, South Lyon Unified uses the Brighton rink as well. KV is also their home rink, along with Wald Lake Western and Pinckney. So coming into before we preview that game on Saturday. Let's talk about the regular season just as a whole. Your first year as head coach, there was a lot of ups, a lot of downs. How would you sum up the regular season?
Kind of what you expect, in your first year. There's going to be some adversity you have to handle. We handle it really well. It's going to take a lot of time. I mean, we had 15 returners that always playing different style of hockey. I had another 7 players into that mix. And just kind of when you get that and try to change, the way these guys have been playing for years, it's going to take some time. Doesn't hurt, help that we had a brutal stretch to start the year. We started 1-8, lost some games that we should win. You're still learning to win, as a young team and when you come together. But had a really good second half of the year. Finished the back half 8-7. Really started with a really gritty effort in the UP, and we just kind of came back and just kept battling. Our goal was to get better every game, every period, every shift, and we really did that. And right around going into the holiday break, the wins over Canton and over Gabriel Shard, started to get some scoring, started to get guys going. That momentum just kept going the rest of the year. You have a guy like Luke Londo, junior defenseman, one of our captains, just have a breakout year, 31 points as a defenseman, led the KLA defenseman in scoring. Gabe Armstrong, I mean, he's been the team's leading scorer for 3 years now, just kept doing his thing. Trevor Reed, another point per game guy, had 28 points this year, just picked up where he left off his sophomore year. And then, Teddy Donahue just, really stepping up this year in a big way, being that catalyst we need. I think he had 21 points this year in 24 games. He won KLA, Player of the Week honors last week, and we just started getting guys kind of moving up. And then, what really helped us is these last 7-8 games are underclassmen. We have, 3 sophomores, 2 freshmen, and they've just played a huge role. Really guiding the ship with their effort, with their production. Hudson Zhao, Owen Schlicker, Brady Chippa, all chipping in with some scoring. Freshman Jake Belucci back on the blue line with sophomore Gabe Murray. Those guys have just been a steady B pairing for us. So we just continue to get better. We got a lot of high-end guys that are young guys, and it just takes time. You're playing against 17, 18-year-old, young men as a 14, 15-year-old. It takes time, and that UP trip was really the defining moment for us and has helped us, finish the year pretty strong.
Yeah. Okay. So, the regular season is officially over for all Michigan high school hockey teams, and it is now time to begin the playoffs. Of course, we have a playoff preview. Sean Belegian, the mayor of high school hockey here in Michigan,
Yes.
is of course joined me a few hours ago to preview the upcoming tournament. It's broke down every division, a lot of all the fun stuff. There's also, of course, the division that we also talked about, the game that you're going to be involved with Saturday against Northville. Of course, if you follow this channel or if you follow high school athletics here in Metro Detroit, Novi and Northville are pretty big rivals. So going up against those guys, I know you guys you guys want them back, and this is a perfect opportunity to do it. What's it going to be like Saturday night? It's going to be a fun one.
It's going to be a fun one. One thing I'll say is, for anybody that's watching that they've never experienced the Novi Northville rivalry. I'll tell you, it's second to none.
Yeah.
In my 18 years coaching, add 30 years total, being involved in hockey. It is the toughest rivalry I've been a part of. You share a rink. Our locker rooms are across the hall from each other. We actually share a vent. So when one team celebrates, you can hear it. We had to hear that, the night before Thanksgiving when they beat us. On Wednesday, we kind of had, we were playing on both sides, on both rinks, and we were already in there winning. They won in overtime. As soon as they came in, we could hear it. Both teams can hear that. Everything you do as a Novi student growing up, it's Novi versus Northville. I don't care what sport it is. I don't care what it is. It is deeply meshed. Then you add in that layer of you're right on top of each other. We practice either before or after them 5 days a week. So it is constant touch points. It's a good rivalry in everything we do. The fans come out. Normally we play at Novi Ice Arena. Both teams' fans will travel, that 20 minutes down the road to Kensington Valley Ice House and pack the stands. I'd say buy your tickets on GoFan now, get there early. That's a plug for GoFan and those tickets. But that's a game I would anticipate to sell out. It's just it is quite the rivalry. Everybody's all in for it. You're going to get Northville's best. They know they're going to get our best every time we play. And really, that game always comes down to who makes less mistakes and who controls their emotions better.
Yeah.
You can throw the records out the window. It does not matter. Last year's a great example. Northville got the best of us in regionals. Novi had the better record in regular season. They split the season series 1-1, but Northville squeaked one out 2-1. My guys remember that. Remember the loss. Night before Thanksgiving. For 15 of these guys, their season was ended last year by Northville, and that's a chip they've carried on their shoulder all season. As soon as we kind of got to that beginning of February, NPR, so we started watching that, and we saw we had a chance to earn that right to play them, and we want that game. We've been working hard for it. As soon as the South Lyon game ended, it's been playoff season for us. We had 2 great practices last week. We're going to get to the rink early today. Just continue to get ready. 5 straight days of great practices before we load the bus Saturday. Head to KV Ice House, for our 6 p.m. regional tilt against our rivals. But it's a game that both sides I know they want it. You always want the chance to come out on top against your competitor, against your rival, and there's high stakes on line. Whoever loses this game, their season's over. Both teams got a lot of seniors, and nobody wants to have that happen in their last game when they lose to their rival. So we're putting our best foot forward. We're going to, really just be heads down, working really hard all week, to make sure that we do everything we can to have a chance to come out on top.
Yeah, winner advances, loser goes home. And last time I checked, I don't think anyone wants to go home. So
No,
uh,
that's correct. And I mean, I give Coach Osselmacher credit. His boys are playing really well. Like us, they started a little slower than the season they wanted, and second half's been really good to them. I mean, they're playing really good hockey.
yeah.
I know they, and the season with the way they wanted against, Jackson and Christie, but that's only gonna make them hungrier. I mean, that's a well-coached team. They know what it means to, win regional games against a rival. So it's, we're gonna have to be ready for every punch they throw.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one at KV. Donna, you guys go on my turf, and
Yep.
it'll be fun. That'll be a
Well,
fun.
and I heard a rumor that somebody I know is calling that game.
Yeah, it's probably me. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, so that'll be nice.
Yeah, that
So
will be exciting.
be nice to have you calling that game.
Yeah, that's of course it will be that is a game I've wanted to that I'm looking forward to. So yeah, it should be
An
should be
honor to have you as part of the rivalry.
yeah,
The
it is
boys of Brighton hockey can stop in and call our game as well, which I'm pretty excited
yeah,
for.
I've covered my fair share of Novi Northville events. So
Oh, I know you have, but you get to be the voice now. You get to call the goals,
absolutely.
the assists, penalties. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be exciting. That is for sure. I'm excited for Saturday. Yeah, of course. 6 p.m. Novi and Northville. Of course, will follow the following Brighton, and whoever wins the Ann Arbor Pioneer Saline matchup, which will take place on Wednesday. The winner of those two games will be playing next Wednesday at KV, and then we'll advance to the quarterfinal round, which will also be at KV. So should be fun. The next few weeks as we continue the march to USA as the playoffs begin. It's only USA hockey. The finals are only 2 weeks away, so that'll be fun to watch. So, all right, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Cats Corner. Tune in next week where you'll find out how Novi did against Northville, and we'll obviously talk about much more. All right, Dane. Thanks for the time as always. We will talk to you next week.